Hi there, and welcome to Exercise Your Thumbs and the review ratings roundup for games coming out on the 7th of March. A few to get through today, so I will crack on. First game that we're looking at is Atelier Escherlogie, the Alchemist of Dusk Sky for the PS3. This has been rated 16. I haven't been able to find any specific information on this on PEGI, but I've looked at some of the previous games and the reasons they were given the 16 ratings. Content of this game is suitable for persons 16 years and over, contains encouragement of the use of alcohol/tobacco. Another comments we got for one of the prequels to it. It contains realistic looking violence towards non-human looking characters, sexual images and or sexual innuendo, mild bad language. So that's got its 16 rating. It is a Japanese role-playing game, turn-based role-playing game. So there will be characters that develop over a period of time and a reasonably strong story, probably with a significant amount of gameplay in it. But that is Atelier Escherlogie, or Logy, I'm not entirely sure, the Alchemist of Dusk Sky, coming out for the PS3. The next game we've got doesn't require much explanation. This is Nascar 14. It's a racing game coming out for PC. It is also coming out for PS3, but not until the 30th of April. This has an age rating of 3. Any PEGI games that are given the age rating of 3 come with no caveats at all, no descriptions. It's just suitable for anyone over the age of 3. So that's NASCAR 14 for PC, also PS3 at the end of April. We've got another 3 rated game here, SimBim Mega Bundle for PC, and this is basically a budget title that has 10 racing games in it, none of which I actually recognised, so I think it's cheap and cheerful for a reason, but that again has an age rating of 3+. Next up, Phineas and Ferb Quest for Cool Stuff for the Wii, Nintendo DS, 3DS and the Wii U. This has been given a rating of 7, and its rating for non-realistic looking violence towards fantasy characters, violence that is set in a cartoon, slapstick or childlike setting that could be upsetting for very young children, hence the 7. Phineas and Ferb is a very well known cartoon that a lot of children have watched, I think through Nickelodeon or Disney, I can't remember which. It's quite funny. I'd imagine the game would reflect that, and it looks very much like it would be a platform title, so lots of jumping and collecting things in the style of Mario and Sonic. The next games, I mean, all of which are significantly higher level. We've got Dead Nation Apocalypse, which is coming out on the PlayStation 4 as part of their PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus, you do get one free game a month if you're a member of PlayStation Plus, and this is March's free game. It is a remastered HD version of games that were released on the PlayStation Network for PS3 a couple of years ago. It has been given an 18 rating. It says this content of this game is suitable for persons 18 years and over only. It contains extreme violence. This game allows the player to interact with other players online. It's a zombie shooter. Essentially, you will see it from a perspective from above, and you are going through an environment just mowing down endless reams of zombies. I've played it actually, and it is reasonably good fun. 18, I'm not entirely sure exactly why it got the 18. It is reasonably violent, but because you're looking at the zombies and the action from such a higher perspective, none of it is particularly graphic. But it is an awful lot of blood and guts all over the place, so I'd imagine that's why it's kind of cautionary 18. So that's Dead Nation Apocalypse, which has been released for the PlayStation 4 as part of the PlayStation Plus. Then we have another 18 rated title, which is South Park The Stick of Truth, which is coming out for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 and PC. It's 18 rated, and it says extreme violence, graphic sexual activity showing genitalia, sexual violence, strong language. This is a role-playing game, which is in the same kind of genre as Final Fantasy and Grandia and games like that. Obviously it's based in the South Park universe, which if anybody's familiar with South Park, it is extremely rude. You do get a degree of racism in it as well, and it's usually for the point of pointing out how stupid racism is. It's at the expense of the people who are racist rather than actually being racist of itself. Lots and lots of swearing. A lot of the special abilities that the characters have in this game involve farting or pooing or something like that. It's your typical scatological humour that you would expect from South Park. I have seen some videos of it, and it is in fact exceptionally funny, but certainly not really something that should be seen by anybody under the age of 18. If you know what the cartoon series is like, you know what to expect from the game. They're very, very, very familiar. And the last game today is a real blast from the past, and I remember playing this, well, about 30 years ago. But this is Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures, and that is for the Xbox 360, PS3, Wii U, PC, and 3DS. That is a platformer, and it's an updated version of Pac-Man, who some of you may well remember from, say, when I was a kid. I used to play it at Taunton services on the way to visit my grandparents in Devon. But it is a 7-rated game, and again it contains non-realistic looking violence towards fantasy characters. Violence is set in a cartoon, slapstick or childlike setting that can be upsetting to very young children. Similar in that respect to the Phineas and Ferb game. It's going to be pretty innocuous. I say Pac-Man has been around for a long time, and obviously he was chased by ghosts, so I imagine it's revisiting the same kind of scenarios you had in the original Pac-Man. So to recap for the games that are coming out on the 7th, you've got Atelier Escherlogie, The Alchemist of Dusk Sky for the PS3. That's a 16-rated title for alcohol and drug references, swearing, sexual innuendo and violence. You've got Nascar 14 out on the PC this week, and on PS3 from the 30th of April. That's got an age rating of 3, which means it's suitable for anyone. Also the SimBim Mega Bundle for PC. That's 10 racing games in one bundle, suitable for ages 3 up. We've got Phineas and Ferb, The Quest for Cool Stuff for the Wii, DS, 3DS and the Wii U. That's been given a 7 rating for fantasy violence and non-realistic violence. Dead Nation Apocalypse has got an 18 rating, and that is for extreme violence and also the fact that it allows people to interact online. Next up is South Park, The Stick of Truth for the 360, PlayStation 3 and PC, and again that's extreme violence, graphic sexual activity showing genitals, sexual violence and strong language. That's South Park. And then finally the 7-rated Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures for 360, PS3, Wii U, PC, 3DS. Non-realistic violence towards fantasy characters. So that is the roundup for week ending the 7th of March. These games will be coming out either on the 7th of March or shortly after. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you found it useful. I'll be back with you next week with another roundup of the new releases and their ratings. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll speak to you again. Bye bye.